G'day guys and welcome to ReDriven. Now, the Mercedes-Benz S-Class. When these things were released and were brand new, many car journalists and experts declared them to be the best car in the world, and they have pretty much set the standard for all cars that have followed. But that was when they were brand new. What about when they're not brand new? What are they like when they're used? What are they like with a few thousand Ks and a few years under their belt? What goes wrong with them? Can you live with them every day? What do they cost to maintain and buy? And most importantly, should you buy one? Let's find out. Now, before we get deep into the S-Class, can you do us a favor? Can you please press those like, subscribe, and bell icon buttons? And hey, why not go and follow us on all the socials as well? The S-Class is the flagship model range for Mercedes-Benz in terms of luxury. And since its inception way back in 1972, the S-Class has made a habit of showcasing the full impact of Mercedes-Benz's engineering know-how with every new generation of S-Class. This, the 6th generation, was no different, showcasing features and technology that many other cars won't see for years to come. And now look, we won't be going over every single detail of every variant in this video because it would just take far too long, but we have done that and we've put it in our handy ReDriven cheat sheets. Our cheat sheets are invaluable as they provide a full breakdown of the car's model range, its common problems, what you need to look out for before you hand over your hard-earned cash, how much of that cash you should be handing over, and so much more. Check it out in the link below. So does it look good? Well, it certainly looks expensive and sophisticated, but good, look, obviously that's a matter of opinion. For me, yeah, it's like, I love the front design. I mean, the front looks fantastic. This thing actually had a facelift in 2018. To tell the difference between this and the facelifted model, you'd have to be an absolute S-Class fanboy because the difference is very subtle. Look, from the side, it does look just elegant. I love this side crease line here, it's beautiful. But where I have an issue is this whole area back here. I just feel like it kind of disappears a bit too soon. It's a little bit like if you see someone really attractive walking towards you and you have a little bit of a glance down as they walk past and notice that they haven't got much of a bum. It's a bit like that, hasn't got much of a bum. It's not the end of the world, just a bit, oh. But if you want to quietly exude success and subtle affluence, I'm not sure if any other car communicates that quite as well as the S-Class. Now, as far as quality goes, look, these panel gaps, this is a fair bit wider than the other side. All these panel gaps, they're just a little bit out. It's nowhere near as precise as you'd expect for a car that costs this much money. Everything that opens and closes is really good, like the soft closing works a treat, but these rims. Now, the guy that owns this car does a lot of driving in the Hunter Valley, and look, those roads are crap, but he's cracked 5 rims. The cost of each rim is over $2,000 per rim. Really not good enough. Actually, it's so bad that there has been a class action against Mercedes regarding their cracking rims. Not good. Okay, how's the interior? Look, we'll do the good stuff first. Overall, the design is just unbelievable. It's sophisticated yet still cool. It just exudes luxury. Beautiful. All the ergonomics are spot on where all the touch points are excellent. If you suffer from a bit of OCD like I do, this is phenomenal. All of the air vents, they have a little click where they self-center. That literally turns me on. I find that arousing. Oh, I could do that all day. Sorry. But now, the negatives. First up, the leather. Look, this car isn't that old, but the leather's already kind of gone shiny and a bit gross, like especially on the seats. It's lost all that nice tactility. Even some of the stitching isn't all that good. It just feels a bit gross. Also, the leather down here, like the owner of this obviously has a wedding ring or some rings, and like it's just chewing away at the leather already. And here, like, look at that. Like, that's where you put your arm, but it just constantly squeaks. This car's nearly $250,000 and the doors are squeaking. Not good. Also, some of these buttons just feel a bit cheap and nasty, a bit plasticky. And then you got the dash. So check this out. Like, the leather up here is already starting to get a bit loose and gross, but worse still, the leather up here on top of the dash is literally lifting like a wave. Like, what the hell? That should not happen. That is That's not good. That wouldn't happen on a base model Yaris, let alone a $250,000 Mercedes S-Class. Not good enough, Mercedes. Also, all the black plastic down here, if you wear a wedding ring or any ring, just gets all scratched up. The piano black does not like longevity. All this silver around here, this feels a bit gross. Some of these buttons just feel a bit cheap. On the steering wheel, all the silver up here, again, it's just not aging well. Besides all of that, there's no escaping. This thing does still feel luxurious. These seats are just like lounge chairs could learn a thing or two about the comfort of these seats. Even the headrests, so soft and beautiful. Even this, the way this little storage cubby hole closes, the way it moves, it just feels expensive. Shame nothing else does. Okay, in the back, it is just so plush and luxurious back here. This particular car has the optional powered seats so you can recline beautifully. And these headrests, they are unbelievably soft. It's like they're made from actual baby skin. Bit gross, but very, very soft. Heaps of leg room. I feel like it's a palatial apartment back here. But like the front, yeah, the leather's just not wearing that well. Like this doesn't get used in the back too much, but I don't know, the build quality is just a bit questionable. How's the tech? Guys, this is an S-Class Mercedes. It is absolutely drenched and dripping in tech. In fact, there is so much tech in this thing that we can't go through all of it, otherwise the video will end up going for days instead of minutes. But actually using the tech, look, in my opinion, this whole system here is not quite as intuitive as BMW's iDrive system. And one thing that's really annoying, if you've got your phone plugged in here, there's nowhere specifically for the charging cable to go. So if you have a passenger that wants to charge their phone and be on their phone at the same time, this kind of gets all a bit skew-iff and actually can damage the lead, and it's just hard to open and close that thing. Come on, Mercedes. The S-Class may not have received Apple CarPlay or Android Auto until its 2018 update, but as a quick overview of what this car has, well, here we go. It has two 12.3-inch high-resolution TFT colour displays. It has the Mercedes Command Central Control, teaming up with a touchpad, a rotary knob, and one-touch keys for all of the major functions. Its seats have 16-way power adjustment and energising massage functions that are based on the hot stone principle, using 14 separate actuated air cushions in the backrests, as well as integrated warming functions. It has a 590-watt 13-speaker stereo to fill the cabin with pure digital surround sound while seamlessly compensating for ambient noise. It has magic body control, which uses road surface scan to detect bumps on the road ahead and adjusts the suspension in advance to handle the bumps. Insane. Space in the back is excellent. This thing has been designed to carry heads of industry, dictators and their mistresses across Europe. So yeah, room in the back is excellent. And there's even more storage under here. Okay, practicality in the second row. Look, obviously you get this enormous armrest, which is actually the middle row seat. But in here you've got heaps of storage here, two cup holders up here. Practicality in the center console, you've got a spot for your phone here. You've got two 12-volt power outlets here. And you've got more air conditioning vents that have that lovely self-leveling little click. I can't get enough of that. Sorry. You've also got massive size mat pockets back here. Excellent size door bins that are again carpeted to keep your cold drinks warm. You've got little vanity mirrors that all light up here. And then you have the pièce de résistance, all the controls for your blinds and curtains. That's right. You can do this. You've got a rear blind, and you can even control your own sunroof like that. So cool. And up front, practicality is superb. You've got a spot for your sunnies up here. You've got a bisexual cubby hole here because it goes both ways. You've got a little section in here which also has hidden cup holders. Another little storage section up here that slides out like a little drawer to keep your change so you can throw it at poor people as you drive past, with a 12-volt power outlet. Massive door bins that are actually carpeted so it'll keep your cold drinks nice and warm, and also a pretty decent sized glove box. So what goes wrong with them? Well, look, being German and the flagship model of the Mercedes range, surely mechanically these things are absolutely bulletproof. But I'm not a mechanic, so I can't give you an educated opinion. Luckily, Jim is a mechanic. So here's Jim.
Yeah, It is a Merc, and yes, it's going to be expensive. Yes, it is an S-Class, but it's important to know that it shares a whole lot of engine and driveline components with a heap of other Mercs. First of all, you're going to have a whole lot of electrical gremlins. These things are notorious for wiring and electrical problems, and it all stems from what is essentially beautiful engineering. See, they package everything in these engines super tightly. The computer is on top of the engine, the turbos are there, the electronics are there, everything is there, and it's packaged really tightly. Heat and vibration over time wreaks havoc with all of these systems. And ultimately, you're going to have problems. And because everything's packaged in there so tightly, it's incredibly hard to work on, which makes it really expensive to fix. Yes, this beautiful engineering makes a lot of sense when you're manufacturing a car, because they can just put it all in and pump them down the production line really quickly. But when it comes to working on them, they're a nightmare. From a mechanical aspect, these things will cost you a fortune.
Is it safe? Yes, incredibly safe. Actually, here's a fun fact. Many of the best automotive safety innovations have emerged from various S-Classes, but this particular car is fitted with everything from Collision Prevention Assist Plus to Distronic Plus with Steering Assist, Night View Assist, Attention Assist, more airbags than a jumping castle, and enough safety tech to make it nearly impossible to crash, and even if you do crash, you're going to do it in comfort and style. The S-Class is equipped with the full suite of safety technology. In fact, I think if ANCAP could award more than 5 stars, this thing would get about a 9. So what's it like to drive? Well, it just makes you feel like you're a better human than everyone else out there, like all the peasants. I don't know how it does this, but I can literally feel my ego and self-confidence just growing the more I drive this car. Normally I'm happy to let people cut in front of me or change lanes in front of me, but now driving this, I kind of look at them and just think, are they even worth my thoughts? Peasants. All peasants. You're poorer than me. You don't have as much money as me. But seriously, this thing just wafts along like you're driving some sort of powerful cloud, like, make way, I am here, make way. The engine's power delivery is so smooth and buttery. It's like the hand of God is just going, on your way, sir, make haste. The ride quality and handling are just superb. Like, it doesn't pitch and roll. Like, it's obviously not a performance car, but it corners so gracefully and so well. The suspension is so compliant. Like, I've yet to even realize I've run over a pothole yet. Okay, wind and road noise, listen to this. Nothing, can't hear anything. It is so quiet in here. You'd have to have like NASA levels of hearing to hear any weird noises. I reckon I could do the whole in-car bit as a whisper and you'd still hear everything I can say. It's that quiet. These S-Classes can come with monstrous AMG engines, but even this diesel, it just, it gets up and goes. It's quick. Visibility is interesting, but because this A-pillar is quite large and this whole area here is quite bulky, if you're turning right around a roundabout or going into a driveway with a steep gutter, it can be really hard to judge where the front wheel is, and with how expensive these rims are, that can get a little bit stressful. Even the steering is just so smooth and buttery. Again, it's not like a performance car, there's not a whole lot of communication coming through the wheel, but yeah, it's accurate, it's lovely, the whole thing's just bloody delicious. It's a yummy car. I think these things are actually fantastic for your license because it's so relaxed, so palatial, so luxurious. You don't feel like you need to speed. It doesn't encourage you to put your foot down. I've never been this relaxed driving a car. This is lovely. What do they cost to buy? Well, look, the good news if you are buying one is that the depreciation on these is absolutely insane. So you're going to save yourself thousands and thousands of dollars buying a used one. For example, this car brand new was nearly $250,000, but now 5 years on, you get maybe 90 grand for it. That's right, this thing has depreciated more than $130,000 in just 5 years. And you can actually get early spec high kilometre S-Classes that were over $200,000 new for as little as 65,000 bucks. Now, at the other end of the spectrum, a 2019 top spec S63 that cost over $400,000 new will now set you back $190,000. That means it's lost $210,000 in just 2 years. Now, to put that into perspective, that's $287 a day. If I lost $10 a day for 2 years, I'd be furious. $287 a day it's lost in value. What the hell? That's insane. Now, Mercedes-Benz offer a 3-year unlimited kilometre warranty, and trust us, you're going to want one of these with some factory support left on it, because parts are insanely expensive and the labour costs are more than the GDP of most developing countries. So yeah, get one with some warranty left on it. Fuel economy for this S350D is claimed at 5.8 litres per 100 kilometres, but on this test we're seeing figures closer to 7, which is still pretty amazing. This thing weighs more than 2 tonnes. It's a big old barge. Good fuel economy. Servicing is recommended at every 12 months or 25,000 Ks. And again, trust us, you're gonna want one with a solid service history, because if anything goes boom on this, your bank account will need medical attention. So, should you buy one? Well, it's a tough one. Well, look, on paper, it seems like a no-brainer. Nearly $250,000 worth of car for under $100,000, a phenomenal driving experience, all the panache and warm fuzzies that come along with owning something as sophisticated and luxurious as this, immense practicality. Surely it's a yes, right? You should buy one of these? Well, no, you shouldn't. Look, if you're in the financial position to buy one of these things brand new and can structure your portfolio to absorb all the depreciation, then awesome, because these things new are just spectacular. But look, if you're buying a used one of these because you genuinely can't afford to buy a brand new one, look at it this way. The values are just going to keep going down, the repair bills are just going to keep going up, and that's just not an equation that any sane person should ever buy into. Yes, they are just truly incredible when everything's working, but we just don't think the risk is worth it, especially when for 100 grand, there are so many other cars out there. Guys, thank you so much for watching. What did you think of the S-Class? Let us know in the comments section below. And remember, hit that like, subscribe, and bell icon buttons. And hey, go and follow us on all the socials as well. See you next time.